We are in front of the Sky Room, a legendary club in Buffalo, New York back in the day.
Me and Paul and Rich went to see Metallica on the Ride the Lightning tour at that place.
Many bands have played here, we've played here many a times, and we actually closed this place out in 1991, I believe it was, playing one of the biggest shows I think that we've ever played for being a local kind of a thing back in the day. I think there was over about 1,000 people were here.
There's definitely a few shows we played at that place that weird shit happened, violent stuff happens.
The Skyrim security were a little tough.
I guess they were like biker kind of guys.
And sometimes when you got kicked out of the Skyroom, they weren't very pleasant.
I don't like bouncers kind of pushing people around for no reason, especially fans that are just having a good time.
We didn't like that. We heard about this, we've seen it, we knew about it, a lot of people talked about it, and it was something that really, really pissed us off.
The bouncers are being really rough. They grabbed a stage diver and thrown him out, and Chris had got wind of it somehow.
I said something on stage about, we'll fucking kill you or something to the bouncers.
And the bouncers like this to him, and Barnes, they were like, kind of toe to toe.
It ended up being that the kids were protecting, basically, because the bouncers wanted to go after Chris and just tear him up.
And the next thing we knew it, the bouncer was basically, kind of taking Barnes off the stage or whatever and kind of corralling him off.
And after the show, they all were in the back parking lot, and we're in Jack's van, and they're coming outside to fucking fight us.
Right behind them was like 100 fans kind of coming behind him. Like if this bouncer touches him, they were ready just to converge and go, yeah, man, you're not touching him.
Somehow it got all worked out. There was some yelling and some screaming, but it all got worked out.
We played there again a month later.
I believe Jack broke a guitar string or something, and that just prompted him to say, fuck it. Put his guitar down, and he jumped out into the crowd.
Next thing you know, headlock, dragging me out the front door.
All of a sudden, Jack comes flying through the door. I could still hear Cannibal Corpse playing on stage.
I'm in the band, I'm kicked out. They're not even kicking out people that are like, cracking each other's skull open, but I'm kicked out.
And we kind of ran after him and said, no, man, he's in the band. That's currently trying to finish the song right now, he's got to get back in, and they didn't want nothing to do with it before they let him come
Wasn't
back.
Easy.
That's how good we are. They kick out the band members. These guys are too good. Kick them out. The Rob Barrett almost blowing up story is pretty good.
We had an RV catch fire, and then we had to leave the RV in the middle of Kansas. That was fucked up.
I looked in the paper, and I found this guy. It was kind of a shady character, but he had an RV, and the price was right. It was like, I don't know, $5,000 for the whole month or something, which was like, hell yeah, that's great,
It started out like all nice and beautiful the first day, and within a week it was trashed.
Gave us an insurance card. I didn't even bother checking it out. I didn't bother checking anything, really. Just picked it up, drove it to my aunt's where I was staying, parked it there, and the next day we got out and just went out on tour pretty much.
It made it to California, but it was starting to break down piece by piece.
I just remember driving down the freeway, we're tooling along, and all of a sudden I hear this.
Because you were driving.
Yeah, I was driving. I look in the mirror, and there was literally a flame shooting out like 12 feet out the side of the RV. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, what the hell just happened?
Chris Barnes was in a car behind us. He wasn't in the RV.
Yeah, we were following, and it was actually on fire.
And I guess he called somebody in the RV saying, dude, you got to pull over, you're on fire.
Where do I pull over? In a gas station of all places.
We're evacuating. We got out of the RV, and it was the main fuel line that it just broke right in the middle of the RV. So it's just like that, and there's gas just pouring out of the RV, and we're at least like 100 yards away from the thing waiting for it to blow up.
RV's a piece of shit. RV sucks. We got a gas leak that looks like it's going to blow.
So we're standing there watching the RV, and we look around, and Rob Barrett's not anywhere to be found. We're like, dude, where's Rob?
I was sleeping in the back. I didn't even know what was going on.
The next thing you know, Rob opens the door to the RV.
There he is. There he is. Look at him. He is unscathed.
I was taking my time, gathering my stuff.
He's got his headphones on, too, and he looks at us like, yeah.
Wasn't it like 20 minutes later?
20, yeah.
And
we
we
were like, dude,
get out of there.
And he finally comes strolling out, just looking around like, yep.
We're like, dude, he almost blew up.
And then he starts walking away. We're like, where are you going? He goes, see you later.
Which way's the beach?
And he just walks down to the beach. It's like, all right.
Okay.
Don't go anywhere that we don't know what's going on. Later. All right, see you. Where you going?
Actually, after that happened, we ended up having to cancel that show. So we stayed in a hotel and we were all really bored.
Oh, yeah.
We decided to make some cheesy little movies.
Just dumb shit we would do to keep ourselves occupied.
We had like this mock drug deal.
Do you have the stuff for me?
Why, yes, I do.
Somebody was buying pot off of somebody and they didn't like it, so they started fighting.
Rob was doing my voice.
Paul Babickian, the sound man, Alex was doing his voice.
Everyone else was in the background doing the sound effects.
Sound effects of, like punching.
Yeah.
That's what you get, you bastard! Hey, get here!
They would just move their mouths and we would just fill in lines.
You were the pizza delivery guy?
No, I was the
You were
pizza
the
receiver.
recipient of the pizza.
Where the fuck is my fucking pizza? I've been sitting here waiting for fucking 2 hours! I'm starving!
Then he opens up the door all mad and starts beating up the pizza guy because he was waiting 2 hours for his pizza.
No, there was only 2 slices in there.
This is bullshit! This is 1 slice of fucking pizza! It looks like you were hungry yourself!
Dumb stuff that we do on the road, that's what you do.
Yeah, them no contact punches hurt a lot!
Lots of goofy stuff going on when you're really busy on tour all day.
A week later, we were going through Kansas, and this RV just breaks down on the side of the road.
And the transmission blew.
And it was like, we're screwed. I call up Mike Faley, another one of my famous help me Mike, phone calls.
I'm going, well, call the owner, tell him you have to get it fixed so he can get it in someplace and use his insurance.
We're in Manhattan, Kansas. There is nothing here. We can't afford to get this thing fixed. It doesn't have insurance.
And we found out the thing was stolen, and the guy that had it was wanted by the FBI.
I'm going, really? I'm going, guys, I'm thinking that maybe we better call a bus company right now and have them come and pick you up. And Chris, why don't you call this guy and tell him where his mobile home is? And let's get out of there like right now.
Didn't we just leave it in a parking lot in the mall? We left it in a mall parking lot.
Yeah, as another one of those famous weird happenings that, that black cloud following us around.
They had a bus there for them within 6 hours. They picked up all their stuff and they finished the rest of the tour and they left it there. And to this day, I don't know if the guy ever went and picked it up.
We had a bus driver. We don't think that he actually ever really drove a tour bus before. We think he was a city driver.
The bus driver, I think he had sleep apnea or something, because we'd be talking to him and he'd fall asleep.
All of a sudden he'd be going, hey man, how you doing, Ron?
Nodding off.
He couldn't drive for any more than like 4 hours and he had to go to sleep.
So he pulled over on a 2-lane through the wilderness of Canada. Pine trees for 200 miles one way, pine trees for who knows how many miles the other way, and he pulled over on a soft shoulder. Sand, pretty much.
I don't know how much a bus weighs, but it weighs too much for you to pull over on that soft shoulder.
I hear the bus pull over, but I don't know where our max is. I'm on my bunk, and all of a sudden, bus stops for a while, and all of a sudden it starts back up. So I could hear the back tires of the bus spinning.
And he's trying to pull out.
And he's spinning the wheels. It's like being like in deep
up.
snow, and he's spinning the wheels more and more. And the side wheel on the passenger side, off the side of the road there, is digging in deeper and deeper. Next thing you know, the bus is leaning.
And I could feel the bus like just going like at a 45-degree angle, like tilting like this. Every time he's spinning the tires, the bus is like getting, like I'm ready to roll out of my bunk right now.
And it was probably about at an angle like that, and that's when we all decided to get off the bus.
I just woke up and I just don't understand why. That's what happened.
And there's these little black flies, I guess. They come up in Canada, like in the summertime. And I mean, they're everywhere. You can't get away from them.
So we're in the middle of the street, in the middle of nowhere, and there's black flies all around our heads. And, we're scratching the crust out of our eyes, and we're like, there's our bus about to fall into a ditch.
So we're like, what are we going to do out here? We have to wait for tow trucks to come get us. Not just one, but 2, because, we're deep in there.
Well, I'm getting a ride like a couple miles away to like this gas station area that actually had a bar. This place had a bar and a pool table, so we wound up just hanging there for like 6 hours or whatever.
And nobody spoke English. They all spoke French. And I'll tell you what, we probably all had one of the best times of our lives. We had a good time hanging out there. It was fun.
We're lucky it didn't fall over. If it had fallen over, I don't know what they would have done.
I think they went to play a show for Cher's son too once.
Elijah Blue Allman is Cher and Greg Allman's son.
He called me about recording his band, and he was a big fan of the death metal scene.
He's a great guitar player, and he's totally into to death metal and other kinds of extreme music.
When he mentioned Cannibal Corpse, put him in contact, and they went out and played it. His birthday party and got to meet Cher.
They said, yeah, we'll call you when if you want to come. I'm like, yeah, sure, that sounds interesting.
So it's basically go out and hang out in Malibu at Cher's mansion on the ocean with a drop-off pool.
Yeah, here's Paul, Alex, and Pat in Cher's kitchen. This is Pat, Alex, and Jack in her closet.
Hanging out at his mom's mansion there in Malibu, the day before.
She went shopping and bought us all kinds of stuff and cooked for us.
Cher had like a cake made. She went there with the butchered birth cover, and the cake people were just like, So they must have been really offended when you're going to shut down Cher. I mean, come on.
We had a barbecue and we had beans and all kinds of stuff. She went all out. It was awesome. We're there all day and all night.
I think it was a Sunday because I remember I was home and I never got a call from them. And I see them the next day, and they go, yeah, we spent the whole day at Cher's house. I'm like, well, thanks for the phone call. I go, oh, sorry, we didn't have a phone. I go, there's no phones at Cher's house.
And the next day we played at Johnny Depp's club, Viper Club in L.A.
It was like a private party crowd. So it was definitely this Hollywood, a lot of models and actors and actresses and stuff. They're not your typical Cannibal Corpse crowd.
Very strange. I'm not really used to that kind of thing. Being around people like that.
I remember I told Elijah, I'm not going to tone down what I say. I got a filthy mouth on stage. I said fuck with life out to all the women. I'm not changing that. I'm not changing anything. And he's like, no, dude, fuck no. I want X rating. I don't want R rated.
We're Cannibal fucking Corpse from Tampa fucking Florida.
It's like, man, I just want to give them a dose of death metal.
I said, all right, man, if that's what you want, you're going to get it.
About half the people thought it was really cool, were into it, and the other half ended up running, I think, downstairs away from the music.
There were people there that just were like, what,
A lot of famous people were there at the Viper Room that night.
Cameron Diaz was up front. She had our old metal, she had like all the studded wristbands and everything on, and she was up front going crazy doing the metal sign. It was awesome.
Really surreal thing.
When I think back, it's almost like, did that happen? I mean, this is just, just very strange,
How many people get to say that, you went and hung out at Cher's house with Cannibal Corpse?
Well, we played Latvia and Lithuania. We get to Belarus, and Belarus was one of the last dictatorships in the world.
They let us in the country, but then when we get to the club, the military's there, and they shut the club down and say that we can't be part of the show and that we have to leave their country.
So then we carried on to leave Belarus to enter Ukraine. And they held us up leaving Belarus again.
They won't let us out of their country.
So we were kind of like stuck in between Belarus and Ukraine.
The Ukraine won't let us in, and Belarus won't let us back through.
I think it's 300 yards between the end of Belarus and the beginning of Ukraine.
We're more or less stuck in this no man land in between two countries, and there's guys with machine guns around us that won't let us off the bus.
And basically, we were stuck there forever and ever and ever.
I think it was a total of 36 hours of just sitting at borders.
Once we knew the shows were canceled, that's when I started drinking, so that kind of helped.
If we didn't have beer and we didn't have movies, I think tensions would have been a little higher.
No one had food. I mean, we couldn't use a regular toilet. People were taking beer crates to the woods and sitting on to take a shit.
While we were parked on the side of the road, hanging off a tree, and it's freezing out, taking a crap. That sucked.
Everybody thinks it's so glamorous. No.
But then I went back in the bus and drank some more beer, and I forgot all about it.
Finally, I think the promoter from the Ukrainian show, since he was a Russian citizen or Ukrainian, he got to leave. He kind of more or less did some contacts for us.
The guy sold his car and his computer to pay for the visas.
They made us take a police escort across all of Ukraine to the Hungarian border, I believe it was.
And we stopped at the nearest town to get some food.
Jeremy brings out like 5 double quarter pounders and like eats them all. Yeah.
I had the best McDonald's I've ever had in my life in the Ukraine.
After 2 days, McDonald's is the most amazing food you've ever had in your life.
Sounds of the Underground band was very apprehensive about going on the tour.
They're so protective of who they are and what they do and how they do it that they didn't want to alienate their old fans.
When that offer came, we were thinking that it might not be too good of an idea for us, like being an underground death metal band and straying away from doing just a strictly death metal bill.
What it came down to for us is we really wanted them on the tour, and we just found a way to make it work for them in the way that they wanted it to work.
Alright, for those of you who do not know, we are Cannibal Corpse from Tampa, fucking Florida. We're not here to teach you right or wrong, sing about flowers and fucking picnics. We're here to kick your teeth in.
We just figured we'd take a chance and see how it went.
They did it, and they kicked ass.
And while most kids that are into metal had heard of Cannibal Corpse, after that tour, they're Cannibal Corpse fans.
It was like night and day between watching the other bands go on stage and then watching this band take a stage with the prowess of being a seasoned live act. Everybody was on that side of that stage and watched 35 minutes of sheer death.
They definitely would have liked to have a longer set time, but they had a blast. They were hanging out with all the bands.
I know one thing that was probably the most fun I've ever had on the tour.
That was my most favorite tour I ever did. Brian from Black Dahlia had the iPod boombox, and we were slamming in the parking lot, the Cro-Mags and shit. We were like having beers in our hands and fucking slamming. I'm like, fuck. And Alex and Pat walk by and go, dude. And these guys are all like fucking, 28 or something. And I'm like fucking 35 years old, 37 years old, and I'm just like, fucking not drinking beer with them. Yeah.
Fucking great dudes. It was so awesome to be able to meet them.
I remember As I Lay Dying being really excited to have them on the tour as a band that they respected.
As I Lay Dying wanted them specifically for that tour.
Yeah, we kicked some shit. Now this bitch.
That's a really cool thing. It's amazing to me because they sound nothing like us.
It was cool for them to do that because it showed a whole different crowd and fan base that, look, death metal still is here today and we're bringing it to you and we want you to see it and see what it's all about.
People don't know who we are. We want to go out there and just, this is who we are. Take that. You don't know who we are? Now you fucking do. You just got kicked in the fucking mouth.
So see it and experience it, and now they're into it. So that's a victory for us.
I definitely think there were some people that probably maybe heard of us but didn't know what we were about until they seen us.
That was probably their next extension of life.
I'm sure it was a good decision. Just seeing the way it was on our next tour, there were a lot of different people coming out to the next tour joining in.
We've seen a lot of really good bands with Cannibal that we were turned on to because of them, like Severed Savior and fucking Deeds of Flesh, and a lot of bands. Cataclysm is one of them. Macabre. There's a lot of bands that we've seen with Cannibal, like we wouldn't have heard of because they're not as well known.
I think they've opened a lot of doors for a lot of bands.
They're very adamant about bringing back young, up-and-coming death metal bands.
It strengthens the scene.
It's clearly helping those other bands because those bands are playing to bigger crowds than they ever played with a band that is absolutely classic at this point.
Not a lot of bands get that opportunity, and to this day, I'm very thankful for them, asking us to go on the road with them.
On the other hand, that's helping Cannibal. That they're getting some fresh blood. They're getting, teenage kids to come out to their show. That are following these other bands.
They will go out of their way to make things happen for up-and-coming bands. They did it for us. On the tour we were on, they were really into Angel Corpse. They had Hammer of the Gods just came out, and they were really into it. And they said, man, we'd love to do something with them. Next record, they were out with Angel Corpse. They did like 50 dates in the U.S. because they wanted it to happen. And that's how they are.
They speak to these bands directly. They'll call me up and say, hey, we've already talked to these guys. They want to do it. Just go and finish the deal. And be it here in the States or overseas, they're very connected.
In general, when we take out smaller bands, we want them to be killer death metal bands that we love.
We don't want to bring up bands we can destroy every night and, we know we can blow them away, Fuck that, man. We want to bring up bands that kick ass and that we don't watch ourselves are going to blow us right off the fucking stage.
Some of the best death metal that's ever been made is being made right now.
We did some shows with like Aeon. That's a perfect example, man. They fucking rule. When they play before you got to fucking step it up.
How can you not listen to a band like Necrophagist or whatever like that and then, kind of be inspired by that?
Alex has brought in his Brain Reel CD. It's just incredible.
There's a lot of advancements that have been made in this kind of music, and we've paid attention.
They wanted to bring us and Black Dahlia and Goat Whore and the Absence out on the tour. I'm stoked to be on tour with Cannibal Corpse right now.
And I'm definitely spoiled by the whole thing because my first tour ever is with Cannibal Corpse.
It's nerve-wracking in the fact that I'm playing before a band that I've looked up to for a decade or more.
For us to be considered even in the same show as them, it's the coolest thing ever. It's a huge honor.
Scream, break, and fucking struggle!
Singing with them is amazing. I've done it probably about 10 times now. It's still the coolest thing I've ever done in my life.
Cannibal's different from a lot of other bands because they'll tour anywhere. You know what I mean? There's a lot of bands where, like, if the stage isn't right or nothing's right, they'll leave. And Cannibal will always make the show happen.
Bands that don't do a lot of touring fall behind, no matter how good they are. You have to get out there and tour.
This is a poster for a show in Bucharest that we did in Romania earlier last year, and we look like zombies. Notice I have no nose, and George's mouth is like sewn shut too. I never thought I was going to be going to places like Russia and Japan and just places I never imagined that. So it's all a bonus.
You get out there on the road, and I don't know what people see on TV, but it's a lot of sweaty, backroom, dirty couches, dressing rooms that stink. They smell like beer. You gotta really like it. It's nothing flamboyant. I mean, unless you're out with motherfucking J-Lo, touring is hell.
You got to deal with some rotten bathrooms, and you got to deal with other people's asses, you know what I mean?
Dude, all their clothes smell bad.
Because we sweat a lot, and we don't get a lot of opportunity to wash those clothes.
You're wearing the same pair of pants and shirt for 5 days in a row, and you're on stage sweating like that.
Yeah, it gets kind of hot up there, and when you got bright lights like that on you, and you're banging your head for about an hour and 15 minutes, you're gonna be drenched. We literally have puddles on the floor where we're standing.
Alex sweats a lot. Electronics in his bass is actually fried out. He's always got to get shit replaced because it just gets rusted out from excess sweat.
We have to like rotate guitar parts a lot because of the sweat. After a tour, I'll bring my guitars back in and like get new parts because they start rusting out. The guitar straps, like our guitar tech has to hang them outside to let them air out just because they're real funky.
Just washed my wristbands in shower gel a couple days ago because they smelled too bad. I couldn't even play with them on. It was just foul.
They all like hang their stuff on hangers, and it's all sweaty and dirty, and it stinks.
It's the Funk Lounge. That right there is Pat's Funk. This is Paul Funk. Salt stains are classic, actually. Sometimes, like some of the other guys' shirts, you'll see like the line because it all finally drips down and it all just gathers right here, and then they'll put a towel down here, and you'll see this towel just gets drenched. If I happen to lean over a little too much, I might bump into it. But any guest who sits in that corner will get Pat Funk.
You gotta hang them wherever you can, and sometimes you'll rub into it on accident and be like, oh man, it smells nasty.
If only that camera had a sense of smell.
Like, ugh. Like, man.
Me and George are hanging our clothes in the shower, which is in the bathroom in the front.
Brutal.
We have it set up in a way that they won't really bump into each other, my clothes and George's clothes.
It's not good to mix the funk because like everybody has their own unique stink.
The chemicals one person is excreting, mixing with the other, it just makes it that much worse because we've had that happen a few times.
Yeah, it's a cardinal sin. Don't mix the funk.
You take stage clothes and you put them like in some dark closet where they're hidden, where no one can see or no one's going to be bothered by them, that they're going to stay. They're going to get musty and they're going to get worse.
Biohazard. This is a danger to public safety right here, these clothes.
They wash them whenever there's time. I think Pat's most obsessive about that.
I can't stand to crawl into it, so I always try to do laundry whenever I can.
Pat did laundry earlier today, but George isn't.
He won't ever wash his shit.
I did wear this shirt a couple days because that cloth smelled so bad that even I wouldn't wear it. And you know, if I wouldn't wear it, it fucking smelled.
Paul and George. George his shit's gotten really gamey.
He never washes his fucking clothes on the fucking tour once.
Really ripe, really foul smelling. Almost like vinegar or something. It's nasty.
And I'm like, dude, can you just put your clothes somewhere else? And he put it in my bunk. Okay. And, a couple bottles of Febreze later in my bunk, then I was able to sleep again.
I always forget to bring Febreze. Just those little conveniences that you have at home, you don't have them here all the time. Our bus is pretty nice, so we have a lot of conveniences, but still not all. And things you take for granted at home, they're not here.
People don't think it's like that, though. They think, oh, you're in a private jet and you land and it's a 4-star hotel. No, motel.
Now it's time to go see if we can sneak some laundry at the Motel 6.
20 years of that shit. My hat's off to you. I'm at the house playing Xbox. I'm cool, you know. If that makes me less than Cannibal Corpse, I'm less than Cannibal Corpse. I can't fuck with hardcore touring. They think it's all catered food. No, microwave burritos, dude, on the side of the road.
Truck stop. Nothing special.
Getting some strawberry shortcakes.
I bought 2 cherry turnovers, fresh.
Marshmallow cheeseburger. I bet you George would want one of these.
Keeping a healthy lifestyle going out here on the road. I've been eating pizza every day, and right before I'm going to bed, I'm going to eat like about 500 calories of donuts.
You want a burger? Marshmallow burger? Look at that shit.
Is that a real burger?
Figured you'd like
Is it
that.
actually marshmallow?
It's marshmallow, yeah.
People think it's a big party out here all the time, just like in a hotel every day smashing TVs. The typical throw the TV out the window. Man, it is not like that at all. We're out here to play. You know, we're not out here to party, and we want to do whatever it takes to put on the best show we can.
With us, it's more just get on the bus and have some beers. It's fucking lame, you know? We're not like, rah. I mean, our idea of a party is a couple beers and listening to shit up in the front.
It'll be you like standing up there, fucking playing air guitar to like black metal and death metal albums.
Yeah!
I guess the hardest part is probably just dealing with other people.
We're all together all the time. There's not a lot of privacy. If you want that alone time, you kind of just have to go into your bunk. It's like your own little pod.
I can wake up and just be grumpy, and I think those guys know it, and I think that they can see it when I'm in a bitter mood when I wake up in the morning. And you can tell if somebody else is angry about something, just let them go. And we all know that. We know each other so well after all these years together, you know.
Oh yeah, I think everybody knows each other's bad habits, and everybody knows everything that's annoying about every other person in the band.
We know what we can say to each other. We know what we can fuck with each other with. And we know what we can not fuck with each other with, what's off limits.
And there's been some times on the road where, yeah, we've wanted to kill each other, or one guy wanted to kill another guy, or, we get into a fight over something, ridiculous, but that's just the way relationships are, and it's no different being in a band.
We're a band, we're a team, we gotta be on the same bus together. You go through good times, you go through bad times, you go through arguments, and disagreements or whatnot, and you agree on things, and that's just the way it is. It's like a family, it really is,
The most important thing is us respecting each other the way that we are.
We, I think, do very well compromising with each other.
Yeah, being patient is a big thing that I've learned over the years.
We've known each other a long time, and we're all good friends. We know how to tolerate each other.
If we didn't get along, if we really just hated each other's guts, then it wouldn't work.
The common goal, we love playing music, we love playing our kind of music, and that's why we're here. That, I think, is going to override anything.
Whatever differences they have, even when they're fighting on stage, is definitely all about the music, so they deliver in that end 100%.